There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Oh, it was all a dream, and you were there, and you were there, and you I've never seen before. Yeah, who are you? I saw you chasing Bart's ambulance. And my God, it was all a dream. Dorothy's trip through the land of Oz was just a precursor to the last episode of Dallas. You're welcome. You'll never unsee it. I'm John Rector with the retro view of The Wizard of Oz from 1939. A timeless classic, one of the most iconic movies, one of the most quotable movies, with tremendous songs and tremendous performances, and just a breezy, whimsical nature, and my God, a troubled fucking production. But man, oh man, what a fucking iconic movie. 85 years old. Jesus goddamn tap dancing Christ. It also featured some scary imagery for a goddamn child, like the Munchkins with their little legs and their inability to reach things on the second shelf, and God, they were just so creepy and weird. Randy Newman was right, by the way, with the song Short People, and if you get that, you're going to hate me. Now, actually, there are plenty of good short people. Don't overlook them, even though it's easy to do, and don't talk down to them, even though you have to talk down to them because they can't look you in the eye. Unless they hit you in the groin. And then you just gotta get out of the way with their little hands. I will stop knocking short people, but that being said, The Wizard of Oz. It was directed by Victor Fleming. As God is my witness, I did Gone with the Wind as well. And Joan of Arc. And The Great Waltz. 1937, A Star is Born. Treasure Island for 1934. And also the Kansas scenes, uncredited, were done by King Vidor. It's his actual name. The guy did War and Peace. It was also based on a book by L. Frank Baum. And it was written by a few people. Yeah, it took a few people to adapt this, and I don't know why necessarily, because, yes, there are a bunch of Oz books, but considering what this one was about, should have been easy for one person to do it. Noel Langley, who did the 1951 version of A Christmas Carol, and Florence Ryerson, not Florence and the Machine Ryerson. Everybody Sing, and then I was also Edgar Allan Hungry Like the Wolf, who did Everybody Sing and The Night is Young. And you set the world on fire and maybe go higher into the sun. If you do not know what The Wizard of Oz is, seriously, the fuck? Are you coming here for a fountain of information, a detailed description of the plot? Dorothy crash lands in Oz after a tornado sweeps her up. She kills the Wicked Witch of the East by the house falling on her. Glenda, the Good Witch of the North, basically says, "Oh, you want to go see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, and then he will send you home." She runs into Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, not necessarily in that order, and runs into the wizard and also the Wicked Witch of the West. It was played by Margaret Hamilton, and fun fact about Margaret Hamilton, apparently she was so thrilled to be the Wicked Witch of the West. She also was apparently hard to dislike and be scared of because she was so nice off set, and Judy Garland noted that. And yes, Judy Garland, this is pretty much what cemented her as a starlet and as a star, even though numerous executives treated her really badly. No wonder she had substance abuse issues and everything, getting famed so early and whatnot. But yes, she is Dorothy Gale, and she's off to see the wizard after we get some early scenes in Kansas. That's like in the goddamn Dust Bowl. You have Frank Morgan as the professor. You know, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The Scarecrow, Ray Bolger. Then you have Bert Lauer as the Cowardly Lion. You also have Jack Haley as Tin Man. It was supposed to be Buddy Ebsen. Unfortunately, he was allergic to the Tin Man makeup. And Billy Burke was, Glenda, the Good Witch of the North. And, also the Munchkins. Little short shits that are so goddamn frightening and everything. And, again, Randy Newman was right. So, yeah, this had a $2.777 million budget, which would be about $63 million in today's money. So, yeah, MGM spent a fuck ton on this. That's a lot of goddamn money. And also, one thing I noted rewatching this, and I'm not going to recount everything, like as far as beat for beat. I'll talk about some of my favorite songs and other stuff and everything. But one thing I noticed is when she opens the door and you first see Oz, I noted that the same tone was used for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Like, when you first see the inside of the Chocolate Factory, the sets and just the whimsical nature of it, it just has the same feeling. I'm not saying it's a ripoff. I'm just saying it does have that feel. So, where to start with this? I mean, off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. You know, is Ding Dong, the witch is dead, witch, oh, witch, the wicked witch, oh, we, oh, oh. And Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So many replayable songs and so many great versions. If I Only Had a Brain, a Heart, a Goal, a Name. Off to see the wizard. And, yeah, poor Toto. Apparently, Judy Garland wanted to adopt the dog, but the owner, didn't want to give up the dog. Not because they were cruel to the dog, but just that was their dog. And the dog apparently was in a lot of movies and died in 1945. So Toto had a great life. Or whatever Toto's actual name was. I think it might have been played by a few dogs, but nevertheless. A damn dog just wants to eat and sleep. And of course, you have Margaret Hamilton as Miss Gulch. It's funny that she was only in her 30s. Let's see. Time this came out, she would have been 37. She was born in 1902, so Zoe Stark was there for her birth. I'm going to just throw a jab at Zoe every single time I can for no reason. But Mrs. Gulch is tired of Toto getting in her yard and chasing her old cats. That's not a euphemism. And wants to take the dog. She tries to take the dog, but she mistakenly does not tie the basket down, so Toto just easily escapes, jumps off the goddamn moving bicycle, and gets back to Dorothy. That goddamn dog escapes a lot of places and hops a lot of places and everything. Must have been a very good dog. So nobody listens to Dorothy because it's like Mrs. Gulch is so cruel. Auntie M, get Toto, it's a twister. Thank you, Airplane. And the various actors, Ray, Bert, and Jack are characters in Kansas and everything. Hence why she hit her goddamn head and then woke up and it was all a dream. Again, like the last episode of Dallas. I bet you didn't expect that reference, did you? So, yeah, Toto easily escapes. Then we get, where the the tornado sweeps her up. And apparently, actually, a tornado hit Kansas the day of Judy Garland's death. That's kind of funny. So, Dorothy is moving shockingly well, despite the fact Annie M and everybody got to the storm cellar. And the house is still standing. So, I guess the tornado got nowhere near the house. But we have the house, all the imagery and everything, the cow and all that stuff, and then, Mrs. Gulch and turning into the Wicked Witch, imagery and all that stuff. And the use of color just pops like crazy. It just really, really was great. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. And Glenda shows up. Billy Burke. I totally forgot that Billy Burke was Glenda. I don't know why. And I've seen this a lot. It's just, I just, upon rewatching, by the way, I am doing this just in case you couldn't figure it, because Wicked is coming out, and some people have requested that I review Wicked. I'll be doing Oz the Great and Powerful as well. I'd like to be doing Rachel Weisz, but hey-oh. So, yeah, it's like, I've never seen a beautiful witch before. Only bad witches are ugly. Dick. Some just aren't born with good genetics. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's witch-beline. So, yeah, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard. I'm sorry, the short people, the munchkins. God, you weird little shits. Literally. Apparently, they were paid $50. They were paid a decent fee, but Toto was paid $125 a week. Really? How would you pay the dog? Would you pay the owner? Pay him in dog food? Pay the owner in dog food? I have so many questions. The special effects still hold up now. Again, with that much money at that time. And yeah, $63 billion now wouldn't get you as much. This movie got quite a bit for its money. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the wicked witch. She ends up getting the ruby slippers from the Wicked Witch of the East. And then from there, we have our deal. She meets a scarecrow. She meets a Tin Man. Meets Cowardly Lion. Goes to see the wizard. All that. So, I mean, Margaret Hamilton again was just fucking terrific. And then, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. And I did like the line. It kind of holds true for how some people act today, especially about politics. But some people without brains do an awful lot of thinking, don't they? Yeah. Not just politics in general. But that being said, Tin Man, if I only had a heart, if I only had a brain, if I only had a heart, if I only had some courage. Upon reflection, some of the songs are rather simplistic. But lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I did like the apple tree part. That was kind of good. How would you feel if somebody picked something off of you? I mean, if I had a scab and somebody picked that off of me, one, it might hurt, and two, also, why would you eat that? Why would you do any of that? So, the witch is up in her castle, looking through this. This does not look like I'm looking through, like an orb. Looking glass, crystal ball. That's what I was trying to say. It doesn't look like that at all. It's like a shapely butt that she's looking through. But nevertheless, she ends up, deciding to drug these poppies. Poppies will help you sleep. Poppies will help you sleep. So, but the Tin Man and the Scarecrow don't go because they're actually, I guess, not real people. Cowardly Lion and Dorothy go to sleep, so does Toto. And then Glenda decides to send a bunch of, the Colombian powder right over them, the cocaine. And then they get to Emerald City pretty easily. And then, they get in. They basically, see the ruby slippers. Oh, that's a whole thing, I did kind of laugh at, like, the guy. Nobody sees the wizard, not know how. But surrender Dorothy in the sky. We'll go see the wizard. He'll know what to do. I know it's supposed to be Emerald City, but that place consists of like 4 rooms. So where do they all live? Nevertheless, it's fine. Judy, Dorothy, her tears. I'll never get home. And I had an Auntie M once too. I'll get you to the wizard somehow. And I am Oz, the great and powerful, all this is to come forth, cowardly lion, and bring me the witch's broomstick. Not her bed knob, just the broomstick. Sound less dirty in my head, let's just roll with it. That way you will prove you're worthy. And then, of course, trying to go into the witch's woods. Whose woods these are? It's the witch's clue. They end up carrying away Dorothy after tearing apart the goddamn Scarecrow. I did like, fly, my monkeys, fly. Yeah, it's the same thing they used for Miss Gulch, which makes sense. And she can't get the slippers off of her, so she says, here, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to have this red sanded hourglass. I'm going to tip it over, and when it runs out, you die. But then they do the oh, because Toto gets there. Escaping to get them, jumping over the little landing or whatever, the little bridge to the castle, and then getting on the rocks, being okay, and then jumping, not hurrying itself. Gets the friends, Cowardly Lion, Tin Man, Scarecrow goes back, and they impersonate the soldiers. Oh, hey, be quiet, he's trying to sleep. Oh, oh. So they managed to save Dorothy before the hourglass runs out. I guess as long as it's in that room, it's okay. And they're going to escape. And then Dorothy says, Witch says, half of you go that way, half of you go that way, and half of you go with me. It's not how math works. How about a little fire, Scarecrow? All the soldiers are around. Oh no, Scarecrow catches fire. Dorothy throws water. It gets on the witch. I'm melting. Oh, what a world, what a world. Margaret Hamilton was fucking great in this. And hail Dorothy, the wicked witch is dead. All that. They just end up... The soldiers are like, hooray, we're green-faced, but we don't have to worry about this dumb bitch anymore. So thank you, Dorothy. Now we can do whatever the fuck it is that we're going to do since we have no leader. You know what, whatever, it's fine. So, the wizard then tries to play hardball. Toto brings the curtain back. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. And gets, basically helps the Scarecrow get his brain. The Tin Man get his heart. And the Lion get his courage. The wizard's going to bring her home because the professor, was the guy that ran the little carnival thing. And he takes a hot air balloon home. But oh no, he leaves without her because Toto runs away. And then Glenda basically says, you've had it in your power to leave all this time. Why didn't you tell her, damn it? Before the Munchkins showed up. Oh wait, she met Glenda after the You know what? Never mind. Damn little short people. That being said, click your ruby slippers together 3 times and you'll be sent home. And she's like, and you were there, and it's the end of Dallas. Might be the end of Dallas. It was the end of Dallas wrestling by 1989. Thanks, Fritz. Nevertheless, let's just basically close with iconic songs, great moments, many quotable lines, and it truly is an all-time classic. 85 years later, still holds strong. It's on Max currently if you want to check it out, even with its bad fast-forward feature. But nevertheless, let me know your thoughts on The Wizard of Oz in the comments, please. Are you excited for Wicked? What did you think of Oz the Great and Powerful? That I'll revisit at some point, despite not wanting to. Nevertheless, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle, and letterbox handle in the description. I'm John Rentlund. I'll see you soon.